Those who care about control will sell their souls to buy your mind. Problem with the crowd. There's a reason why they lie. Those who care about control sell their souls to buy your mind.
Since inception, NASA has received over $700 billion of taxpayers' money. NASA currently receives roughly $70 million a day. Have you ever wondered where it goes?
B-Mark.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have the filter ready to start. 2, 1. Here, booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour, NASA's final space station compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
Welcome to the True Earth simulation. We have been waiting for you. Please open your minds and prepare to experience FMX radio.
Observing gas me to damnation. All attention is alive. Choose the question. My creation was purpose. Slow, see the patience of destruction. Leading us into destructive devastation. Comes a consequence created by abuse. And they think the step of freedom make us scared. They can't refuse it. Thoughts and make them pentagrams. Through this illusion. My intentions to believe that they're down inside. I'm over through this brotherhood. I'm down to birth. Planning and control. A sacred thing to do. And burn. Immediately to go.
Hey, thanks for joining us, FMX Radio, in the afternoon on a Woden's Day. Got a special show for you today, and the 10,000 blessings upon all your houses, because you know I got to start off with that. Good affirmations, positive energy. Join me with me today, coming out the back room, my co host, as usual, Austin from the Mellow Dome, the chief himself. My boy, you there?
What's up? Yes, yeah, I'm here. I don't got the camera on. Now I do.
That's all good. And of course, the OG himself, repping the THC hat, Mr. Jeran Campanella from Jeranism.
What's up?
my friend?
I get a complaint though already. I want 20,000 blessings upon this house.
Oh shit! Go ahead. We giving them all out. But
All right.
before it's over, everybody's gonna have like $100,000 in their pocket.
Shit, let me get
No
that, bro.
worries.
I
No
just
worries.
refinance on my car payment, dog. Let me
Hey
get it.
man, I got infinite blessings. They going out every day, no cost to
Thank
you.
you.
No worries.
Appreciate that.
Man, so basically, Jeran, man, let me start the ball off rolling because I've been listening on the back end as I usually do, trying to keep my lips quiet and learn from the people I respect the most. And you and the Globebusters seem to be on the same conversations me and Austin been on, and really pushing the limits of our imagination and where the hell we be at. And y'all be talking about the simulation, you're talking about God, you're talking about all types of things, man. And it's really great to have you on here so we can kind of communicate that, because I've been kind of unintentionally triggering some people by sharing these almost absurd and kind of aggressive ideas, I guess you
You
could
be
say.
triggering me too.
Yeah, I trigger Austin too, man. It's
We
what
all
we
get triggered sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it's just a sign of the times. And yeah, anytime you're bringing up something that people don't already believe, they're going to be triggered. It's just very rare that you'd be able to say something that's new to somebody, and they're just like, oh, okay, I'll just hang around with that. So
exactly.
it's going to happen.
So I just started promoting the Tour Summit for my coupon. Would you like to go ahead and start off with that? Let us know what's right around the corner.
Thank you. Yeah, it's this coming weekend, so Friday and Saturday, and we got another great lineup. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. And yeah, it's 2 full days, and we've got who's great this time. Jay Tolan Media is going to be there, so it'll be awesome to see him put together a presentation. And then we've also got Alan from Space Audits is going to be his first time presenting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, should be a good one. And then we've got Mike Winter. I don't know if you guys know him. He's from Alphabetic.
Yep.
They do good work over there, so it's going to be awesome to have him on. And then Dr. Kelly Brogan. She's been on Rogan before. Dr. Amanda Vollmer will be there again. Dr. Andy Kaufman for the first time. So it'll be a good group. We're looking forward to it. We've got Justin Harvey. If you guys know him, he does great work.
Oh yeah, Orlando. We are Change Orlando, baby. You've been following
Absolutely.
him for the longest.
Yeah, so
Bubbles
he's
in
awesome.
space.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a good lineup. And of course, we've got some comedy and some music again. We got Foundering, and then we've got Deepak is going to be performing as well. So it's a great event. I've talked about it many times, but Austin and I got together, Austin Whitsitt, and we were trying to come up with something that was beneficial to the community and also help creators. And we think we did a pretty good job of that. Dave Weiss has already told us we need to raise our prices. And we're like, no, we said we're going to stick to this price. This is what we want to, hey, Sarah. And we want to stick to this price, which is because we think it's fair. We think, $50 for a 2-day packed event where you don't have to be there live. You can, obviously you get lifetime access to it. And then also we do give you the back summits, meaning that if you bought this summit, you get everything that's happened already included in the price. So that makes it a good price for that kind of deal. And then you're getting a bunch of coupons in the mailers. We've got some coupons for both your stores in the coupon bags this year. So, and then I'm giving out some 50% coupons for my consultations. And I think Austin's doing something the same. So all in all, you end up saying, technically saving more than $50 if you use one of these other things. But then, we're also giving half of that money to the creator that brought you there. So all in all, it ends up that the presenters get paid decent, better than they usually get, which would be nothing when they're invited to speak places. They usually don't get paid. So we're paying them right off the bat. We also give them a speaker's fee. I mean, you guys know, you both were at the event, you both spoke. So we do it differently than I've seen anybody else do it. And it's meant to encourage them to provide good presentations rather than, because if somebody does it for free, then you really can't get mad at them when they suck. So, but if you're paying them, then you can actually give them shit if they suck. So no, we just want to kind of take care of everybody. So this is set up in a way that kind of supports everybody along the way. And then also we've gotten so many messages from people who, and we never think about this, but people who maybe let's say they get 5 hours a week to watch content. So they mail me like, who do I choose? Who, you and Austin are doing 6 hours each, Melodome's doing, so there's so many hours and these people don't know where to go. So something like this is a good event for them because it allows them to get kind of caught up where everything's at, look at people presenting what they're working on. So we think we've done a good job. We want it to get better. We have some ideas. It's kind of hard to pull the string on some of these things, but it will keep getting better. That's our goal.
It's been getting better and better. This is an awesome lineup you got, man. I think just the information that gets put out alone is worth the money.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. And it seems like every time, although I just saw, did you see Santos Bonacci got his channel removed today?
Oh no,
Yeah, he went ham. I seen.
Well, he was like threatening to kill
Yeah,
what's his name?
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. I don't know what
Yeah, dude.
Just so you know, in case
Lost
you're
it.
thinking of doing it, you cannot go on YouTube and threaten to kill somebody like
No.
Mark Zuckerberg and keep your channel. Imagine that. I don't know why.
That's like guideline number 1.
That might be a community guideline.
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah, that one they're not like they beat around the bush on that one
Ambiguous.
either. It's
No.
pretty blatant. No threatening, no Semitism.
But if you watched him this last month, he's been a little bit on one.
Yeah, he's been unhinged. I've been seeing.
So
He's like rage quit as a guest on someone's show recently.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
Why?
because the host, his internet wasn't working out well.
I saw that episode.
He
With
freaked the
girl,
fuck out.
Nina, is that her name? Yeah.
Yeah, Laura Nina. Yeah.
Well, he also flipped out on us. He had called Dave Weiss and said,
Oh yes, I heard about this one.
he called Dave Weiss all pissed off, like, tell Jeran he did this wrong and he didn't capture my. So Dave like messaged me like, dude, I guess you had Santos's camera offline when you were doing the summit. I'm like, what? I sit there and watch the whole thing. I would have noticed that. So I go look at it. I'm like, that's his camera. Dude, his camera is like all jacked. It'd be like your camera being jacked and you trying to blame the person.
Right.
I'm like, I can't fix his camera. And so I think Dave went back and told him, oh, that was your camera. And then he said, fine, then I'll never do another summit. Tell Jeran. Okay. Dave came back. He said he's never going to do another summit. I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah.
Over already.
Old Santos, man. He turned on one to do like the flat earth crazy uncle. Punch bowl on his head and shit. You're all crazy. I know what's going on.
If there's a winner for the word, using the C word more times than anybody, he would definitely win that. It's just constant.
Bloody.
Yeah.
Isn't he the reason there's a mature version of Level With Me or something like that? Or there's like a
X-rated.
yeah, where they have to apologize for the swear words because he's dropping the C word in it.
No, I mean, I like the guy. I think that he's always been fun to listen to, and he's what I want from people is just their honest opinions. And but sometimes you have to be a little bit careful. If your honest opinion is you want to kill Zuckerberg, you probably want to keep that to yourself a little bit rather than on the air. If you want to keep your channel. But no, I mean, I appreciate people who give us their honest opinion. That's all I want. And we don't get it from anybody anymore. Everybody is so afraid of being canceled or being called stupid or dumb or something. So people would just
they're evil scumbags, man. I mean, I think who's the one that just died recently? I was just talking about Henry Kissinger. He got off easy. Dying. Going off mad easy. These people are.
You think he got off easy just because we're not the ones to punish him? Oh no!
I don't think
no. That karma will follow you to the beyond. You're not getting away from karma.
He's going to come back even uglier next time than he was.
Yeah, he's the roach I stepped on this morning on the way to my car. He's going to reincarnate as another roach, so everybody else can step on his ass too.
They were talking about how much of a ladies' man he was. In
Oh
his
God!
Well, that's because those ladies were men.
That makes sense. That or when you have money, I don't think you can really brag about being a ladies' man.
Right? Yeah, buying it. Yeah, at that point, yeah,
yeah,
it's like purchasing your own views.
Yeah, come on. Look at my views. I got all these views. Yeah, you bought them. Oh yeah, I guess.
I've been enjoying those debates, man. I really enjoyed having what's his name, Jeff, the Christian whistleblower.
Yeah, Jeff.
Right. I gotta say, man, he destroyed Dustin Nemos twice.
Don't tell Dustin that. Dustin keeps telling me he's undefeated.
What? Okay.
Just I don't like to throw my 2 cents in there, but no, thank you. I do like debates, but I want them to be more productive. I still don't think there's been really a really good one yet.
Dude, the one you got coming up today is gonna be great.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be the tomorrow, best one, dude.
We're supposed to have Austin and FTFE tomorrow, but he backed out. So we're currently Austin is debateless, or we've got nobody to go against him right now. So we're looking as we speak.
I can go
Nobody
on there
wants
and
to talk
pretend to
to
be a
Austin.
Glober and just ask stupid questions and
That's what
just
we're
say
thinking.
no
If we
a
have
lot.
to, we'll do that.
No, Austin, no, you can't use those big words. I don't understand them, so you're wrong.
My favorite is those when they say like, you don't like, we know you're wrong about this. He's all right. Tell me why I'm wrong. Well, I don't know why you're wrong. I just
But
know that you have to do.
I can feel it
Okay, yeah, makes a lot of sense.
in my vagina. Oops.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I look at a lot of these guys. Unfortunately, it's just and nothing against women either, but these men who are believers in what they're told and just follow along with the mainstream. I just think they're worthless people. People like Simon Dan. I mean, talk about an easy job. Imagine she's had to show up every day and just get on the camera and be like, "Oh, this flat Earth video is stupid. This guy's dumb," and then cash in your 100,000 a year. Must be nice,
bro. Literally riding off the coattails of you, bro, of people like you riding the algorithm coattails. Just riding that wave.
Yeah. No, those guys just. I mean, there's nothing about them that's endearing. Or I mean, again, when you can ask somebody what their beliefs are, like if I want to know what your beliefs are, I have to ask you. I don't know what you believe about certain things, but with Simon Dan, I know everything that he believes because he only believes what he's told. So I already know what he believes. So people like that, to me, I don't even know why they exist, as rude as that sounds. And no, I'm not saying to kill him, but just saying that he doesn't seem to have much reason for existence. But again, to each their own. I just think that I spent my whole life believing what I was told and believing what has been dictated to me to believe. And then once you get out of that, it's just so refreshing. Even if you don't know the answers to certain things, it's way better than thinking you know the answers and just being some cuck. So I think it's better now, and I feel much better, and it feels good to be able to always be in the middle, or not have to jump on a side right away, because I think that's the thing that scares these guys more than anything. They want you in a belief system because then they can control you. So if you're in the middle, then they can't control you because they don't know what you're going to do, what you're going to believe about every stupid subject they bring up. So
yeah, they want you to pick a side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of dogmatic beliefs. I mean, even in the truth community, man. Even in the truth community, big time. That, I try to stay away from, and we even try talking about over here, and triggers people. And
it's tough. I try to bring up anything, and just get I mean,
you piss a lot of people off. I see it. I see it.
I mean, but it's like, I wish people would just recognize that that's why we are held back a little bit. Because we can just never get on the same page. And I think it's done on purpose. It's just by segregating any group. Whereas we used to get 30, 40,000 views on videos and things like that. Now, because everybody's so segregated that, all of us, are lucky to get 6, 7, 8,000 views. So it's just like one of those things where it's because it's been so segregated. You've got the RV clique that's over there watching RV, and they don't watch Jeran, they don't watch Dearth, so it's kind of like this whole segregated thing. Not saying it's not going to take us, we'll still get somewhere, but it's going to take a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, we're going to rebrand Flat Earth as the simulation Earth. Haven't you heard?
I doubt that. We already changed to True Earth, but
yeah, exactly. True Earth. It's just going to keep
True
evolving.
Earth.
I like the spelling though that FMX did, man. I kind of am a little bit upset that we didn't do that. To be honest with you, I kind of like it.
I was actually surprised when I did it, because of course I'm being part of, kind of, it's a way of staying in the clique. And when I did, I'm like, wow, nobody's done this yet. What? I was surprised.
Yeah,
there's only
nice.
one other True Earth company on Etsy that I've seen. They're like a little herbal soap
Laundry
company
stuff? Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
They spell it differently too. I'm trying to remember how they spell it. True. I don't remember. Maybe with one E. I don't remember.
No. That was me. I'm the one E guy.
But you're one E, no A.
No A and no other E. Yeah, right. Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I forgot how they do it. But when we got ours, I was okay with it. But I've never liked double letters like True Earth with the E starting with an E.
Yeah.
But again, right. Yeah, definitely. So it is what it is, and we are going to have to be happy with the domain.
So we were triggering people this morning off our half awake, drunk off coffee selves. What were we talking about? Austin, what was triggering? Our mutual friend Achilles was in there, and he was feeling some certain way. Shout out Achilles! I know you in there with your big old 14-inch telescope, looking at us, way from over there.
Huge telescope.
Yeah, we even had him on recently, and it's just been the same conversation about, God, basically it started with me talking about, I feel like people's issue is we are personifying God,
Correct.
to have, to be some bipedal figure with human emotions and human characteristics, when I think it's way beyond our comprehension. And, then we went down the role of Jesus, and, people would think it's as easy as saying he's my Lord and Savior. Let me repent before I go to bed. And it just seems like a cop out to me, and we were talking
Yeah.
about that. And I don't say these things to piss people off. You believe that you can. It's just in my core, in my solar plexus.
Right.
I still have questions. I can't allow myself to put everything in one basket like that, because with me accepting that, accepting Christianity and him as my Lord and Savior at the same time, I'm condemning anybody else who isn't going to believe that same thing. So, and that is the issue I have, is condemning others because they're not
Right.
going to believe that. I don't even think Jesus would agree with that if he was here today.
No, it's like every time these pastors get up and say, Jesus is the only way to God, and it's like, you can say that all you want, but that's just to me, it just cannot be the case. I always kind of lay it out like, if let's say there's two people that are equally moral, meaning they've done everything in their life equal as far as how many times they've sinned and how many times they haven't. And if one person just doesn't believe Jesus is their savior, doesn't believe even that he existed, let's say, and then the other person does, he's a full-on Christian and believes all that, but they led equally moral lives. I can't imagine getting in front of God on the final day or whatever, and God saying, you're out of here for not believing in my son, even though you had an equally moral life to this guy. Like, if it comes down to that, then I think God is pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. And I don't think that that's the case. I think God is so far above human ideas and human capabilities that I think it'd be very tough for us to even imagine that. But people would like to reduce it to something so simple and say things like, oh, he had to sacrifice his son for us, and think, again, teach their own. I don't mind it. And I'm the same way as you, Austin, that I don't mean to piss people off. I realize that it does, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion about things that, I grew up Christian. I was big altar server. I was, head of the youth group. I mean, you name it. I did all that stuff. And I found it to be lacking. I found it to, even talking to priests, because I worked in the rectory for like 3 years. And I would ask these priests, because I had more of a personal relationship with them. And I would just say, like, do you talk to God? Do you talk to Jesus? And they're just like, no, I feel his presence. And it's like, oh yeah, you don't talk to him though or anything? They're like, nope. And so I kind of learned, and then I saw those guys when they came out of church, they would be all holy and shaking hands and then they would come right inside and go watch football and be yelling and just like a normal guy. So I just learned, like, they're not special to me. They're not, and then I don't know, you guys watched the debate this weekend with
Dude, I was just about to bring him up, man.
that guy is a piece of work. And I mean,
Yeah.
if people don't understand why Christianity is being why people are leaving the faith quickly,
Yes.
it's because of people like him. This holier than thou, everything he says is, and then you go look into him and you find out all this crazy shit that he cheats on his wife, and that they were all accusing him of it being with his secretary, and he was like, no, I didn't do that, I never did that. And then he divorced his wife and then marries his secretary. I was like, okay, well, it kind of just spell it out for us. So I mean, it's just people like that, but they'll always, I don't know if you've seen there's a couple videos going around of him yelling at witches in his church.
Yeah.
And they're just women who were probably talking about things that he was doing.
That's Locke.
Yeah. So he came out just saying, like, we're going to burn you witches down. We're going to burn you out of this church. But they're just basically women, friends of his wife, who were probably like in her ear saying, hey, he's cheating or he's doing this. And he took that and said, okay, well, let's call him witches and let's. So, I mean, to me,
no, baby, I'm not cheating.
See, now they're just
Your friends
witches.
are witches.
That's what it is. They're jealous of
Bitch
you.
ass witches. They
let's
can't
write that
believe
one
it.
down in case we have to reuse that one. All right. So, okay, friends are actually witches, not no. So, I mean, it's just, to me, I think those guys do more damage to Christianity than anybody. But what's scary?
And how
is
many
the amount of people who
pastors
watch
are
it.
out there like that in the world? How many pastors like him are leading congregations, passing those buckets around probably 3 times a sermon,
Yep.
What's that crazy pastor, the one with that looks like Palpatine? That I needed that plane.
Kenneth Copeland.
Kevin Copeland. He has a movie coming out, right?
Ooh,
He's
wow.
yes, yo, I'm gonna find this, I'm getting goosebumps. This thing is going to be the best B-grade movie. It's not even a comedy, but bro, you can see his evil looking ass. He's a Mexican cartel drug lord preacher. No joke. I can't make this shit up.
Wait, he's like acting in it?
Yes, yeah, it's his movie.
Oh my
And
god.
he's got some big name actors, well, old school big name actors. I can't even remember the damn name, but if you see the face, you're like, oh, okay, I've seen Homeboy around like since the 80s or whatever. But he's a Mexican cartel drug lord pastor who's has beef with another pastor, but that drug lord pastor, he's the bad one. He's he's selling to kids and he's doing worse stuff than this guy because he's trying to bring people to Jesus. This is his secret way of taking over the cartel so he can bring people to Jesus.
Oh, very
Bro,
smart.
I gotta find this trailer.
Damn, dude,
I
I
was
just
laughing my
looked
ass
up
off.
Kenneth Copeland movie, and the second link was a wife talking about Greg Locke leaving his wife.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd be surprised if he's not in the movie too.
And they make so much money. I mean, I during my stream I was saying that because if you look up Greg Locke net worth, I saw a site that says 129 million. I was like, what the hell?
No.
Well, then I found other sites that said 5 to 10, but so probably not 129. But at first I was like, and then he's like gloating, like saying, "Oh, I found some cattle rancher to fund our balloon launch or something." I'm like, dude, you have $129 million. You can pay for your own balloon launch,
Right?
But again, things like that are just, we'll send you up in a balloon. It's like, yeah, we can already do that. We already send balloons up to 120,000 feet. What difference does it make if there's a person in it?
Man, that guy was cringe. He was talking about missiles going over the horizon is proof that there was a curve. And
dude, people are so confused. It's like, but if you realize if it's flat, then they just shoot the missile to the, and it's like the things that they consider proof are insane. Like, I don't know where these Globers get it. Same thing with like Fight the Fat Shirt and these guys. They have this idea of like, if the earth was round, we would see this. We see this, therefore the earth's round. But that's not how you do proofs, or that's not how you do science. They just they've made it so easy for people. It's like, if you go by that, then if Santa came into the house at night, then we would expect the cookies and milk to be drinking. The cookies and milk have been drinking, so therefore Santa came to the house. That's the same idea. That's how they consider proof. They just think, well, because this is what we'd expect, and they always say that, right? Well, this is what we'd expect, and that's what we see. It's like, okay. Yeah.
I could tell when he was talking about the missile system launching over the horizon, just by the way he was explaining it, he's assuming that the horizon he sees is his physical place. As we all did. Growing up, we thought the horizon was the curve of the earth. And that's the thing, to me, it seems like he just looked up some McToon website, found a Professor Dave video. And I think he also just jumped on that bandwagon a few years ago, realizing it would have benefited him. Because obviously he was cheating on his wife. A lot of shit was going down. So
and you hear his son is a flat earther.
No.
Oh, so this is now it makes more sense, doesn't it? So his son, who's 21.
Well, no wonder he's so angry.
Yeah, that's why he's angry. And if you think about it, what's even funnier about that is that he at one point during that thing said something like, "I wouldn't let my son preach to an outhouse." And everybody just kind of let that, what did he even say that for? But then when I found out that his son is a flat earther, I'm like, oh, now I get it. He's like really upset at his son. His son probably brought it into the house. This guy got all pissed. And, it's just like I tell people, don't get in arguments with family, because what happens is people dig their feet in and they're not going to ever budge because they called you a moron. You called them a moron. Well, now who's going to stand up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I'm the moron and you were right." It just doesn't really happen. So I'm sure that dad, Locke, has taken a stance that it's the dumbest belief ever. And so now he'll just stick to that forever because he can't ever admit that his son was right and he was wrong.
Right.
There's no way. It's just not in human nature. So it's better to meet in the middle, better just to not jump down somebody's throat. So, and I'm learning this too with new things that people bring up, is because we all remember how we attack when we hear something that's against our beliefs. So now it's just like, all right, you believe that? Let me look into it. Give me some evidence and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I am the same way. And you know what? It's not like I'm in the middle. I'm full blown flat earth and everyone around me knows it, but I'm not slapping everybody upside the head with it. Really, I'm just like leading by example, trying to be a good person, and I'm connecting with coworkers and friends, and then they're warming up to it. We have this conversation. I've had my coworker Tyler on the show to talk about it. I had another coworker named Bill. I'm going to have another coworker named David on Tried to record something this morning, but we scheduled it for next week. And I'm not slapping them upside the head with it. It's just normal conversations, and they're all on their own journey. People are waking up. You know, it's not our job. I feel like there was a
Nope.
time where I thought it was,
Me
but
too.
it's like you go through a phase, you know, and you
Cycle.
want to tell the world you think they're going to believe you, and you know, because you got this information, wait till you hear what I got to say, you know, and
Right.
you're
I
crazy.
saw
It all
the
backfires.
ISS. I saw the ISS live, and I remember sitting there with Miss, and I really felt like all we need to do is show this to people, and the whole world will realize it's fake. I mean, I really felt that, and then it was like showing people, and they're like, "What's wrong with it?" It's like, no, we don't live there. What are you talking about? It's not just spinning in space. Like, no, I think it is real. It's like, oh my god. So yeah, I used to think too it was like my job to convince people, and then I saw people who would try and do that, and they would just lose their minds. Right? It gets to be you just bang your head against the wall because some of these guys don't want to. The guys who say like, "Well, how does this work in your flat Earth?" Oh, it does this and this and this. Oh yeah, well, how does this work? It's like, oh, you're just going to keep playing this game where you keep. Well, how does this work? Well, how does that work? Well, how does this? It's like we don't have time for that, and it's not our job. So I just want to put out information, and then if people are really truly looking, they'll find it. I mean, even it's hard on YouTube now. You can't really search anything, but that's why I think Dave's app is great because you can at least go to the featured videos and at least get access to videos that you're not going to find on YouTube. Even though they're on YouTube, you just can't find them by search.
Yeah, that's a great resource. There's even shout out to No Longer on the Ball. I'm gonna have him on next week. He created the True Earth Wiki, which is another great resource. I think we need many different avenues like that because
that's great for all of us. We just need to have more people who are able to fill that kind of stuff out. Maybe there's people out there that don't have a channel but want to contribute. That'd be a great way to start, gathering documents and sources and things like that, putting them in there. I just found a book yesterday I was putting on my channels called the new Principia, which I'd never seen before, and another one about Copernicus that was called, what was it called? I just had it yesterday. It was called, right here, The Inverted Scheme of Copernicus, with the pretended experiments upon which his followers have founded their hypothesis of matter and motion from 1822. So, I mean, there's still books out there that I'm like, how, it's been 9 years and it's just nobody's ever found this book, or at least no one's ever brought it to my attention. I'd never seen it. So
now I'm always looking for books like that. I'm going to thrift stores, when we go yard sale shopping, that's what I'm looking for books.
Yeah, because that's where there's, and then I found out, so in this 1822 edition, where it's talking about Copernicus, it says, oh, Copernicus wrote this in his book. You've seen the forward, right? Where the forward of his book says, let no man take these things to be real, or they'll end up a bigger fool than when they entered.
Right.
Right. So, but the thing is, now they tell us that it was written by the copywriter or written by the publisher, which never made sense to me. I'm like, what do you mean? The story is that Copernicus was on his deathbed, right? And he put out this book, and then the editor took it and wrote the forward himself, saying, let no man. That's the story now. But then in this book in 1822, they just flat out describe it as Copernicus wrote it. So little things that I thought were true are true, which is one of them being that Copernicus wrote that forward. And then that's why it's not signed by, and it doesn't even have a name at the bottom of it. Now they tell us, if you ask who wrote the forward to Copernicus' book, they'll say it was something Osiander. And, to read an 1822 book, I do the same thing with Columbus stuff. You go back and read these older books about Columbus. They mention that he found the earth was round and that he thought it was too small. And it's just a totally different story than they try and pretend is true now. Right now they try and pretend, oh no, Columbus knew it was round and he knew, but it's like, how did they knew the size of it in 275 BC, according to you guys. So from there until 1492, which is like 1700 years, nobody got in a boat and went west. Doesn't seem very realistic.
According to Greg, where everybody knew for 2,500 years.
Oh yeah, 2,500 years. Yeah, I'm sure. And then, that's not even true. If you go back and read some of this stuff, even in this book I was reading here, it talks about how 500 years ago or 400 years ago, it said that people still thought that the earth was flat. So I think that we've been lied to about so much. It makes it very difficult. That's why I also allow us to get some things wrong. I mean, when you're having to deal with lies, then sometimes you have to kind of spitball. You have to kind of, because you've been robbed of that foundation, which you need to build any kind of belief. So, I don't mind when people get things wrong. When they lie, that's obviously a big difference. But
it's hard when the algorithm's not in our favor and information's being held from us. There's narratives we got to break down. years of programming. I mean, just to even question where you live, I think is an accomplishment. To have the self-awareness to even have that conversation without losing your shit.
It's just so obvious to me too that I don't know why it's so difficult for people, because really, how could it be that if I say the Earth is still and doesn't fly through space, that I'm an idiot, but the person who says no, it's flying through space right now at 1.2 million miles per hour through a vacuum with an attached atmosphere that never gets touched, it just flows through the nothingness. I mean, like that's the insane belief. So they've just turned it on its head. They don't do this so great, right? They've just made it so that the actual belief is considered the dumbest belief that there is. And this is part of the reason why people say to me, like, I'll say, well, I don't know how exactly the man, why do you say you're a flat earther then? It's like, well, because it's not a globe, and they've told me that the dumbest belief ever is flat. So they gave me the answer. Right? They don't go around saying the dumbest belief ever is that it's a pyramid, which would be dumber. And yet they don't use that one. Why not?
You can make videos about Earth being a pyramid. You can make a video about hollow Earth. You can, you can talk about NASA lying because there's a secret base on the back of the moon. But if you make a video saying NASA is lying and the Earth is flat, well, they flagged your ass. Gotcha.
Yeah. Then they put you in that list.
Yeah.
The hidden list.
Hey, I'll be right back. Kaylee's about to leave. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Say bye to her. I'm gonna show off this video. I found a Coldplay.
Oh, I gotta see this. This is that one
video. Oh yeah, this thing's insane. Try not to laugh too hard because he's trying to use an accent in here, which makes it even more cringy because he sucks at acting, let alone trying to do a consistent Mexican accent.
He actually looks like a demon.
Oh yeah, I mean it doesn't change in here. There's not enough makeup in the world to change that thing. None at all. He's a creepy looking bastard. But yeah, let's check this out. Oh, where's it at? Oh, here it is.
There is something that I must do. I should have done 20 years ago.
What's some of the things you're dealing with? We are dealing with the devil himself.
Santiago Sarca.
The winds are changing. We need to be watchful.
I am Antonio Sarca. I am your grandfather.
I feel like I'm losing it here. I don't care. You don't do that to me. You don't do that to anybody. I don't ever want to see you again.
In April is not to be told what to do.
No, go away.
Let me go. I promise I'll keep everything clean.
We're going to begin to go out to the streets and find anyone that will listen to us. There's a change coming to this town.
Well, if you try to mess the way I do business around here, I will not hesitate to silence you. You hear me? I will take you out.
We want to do a rally right here in your city. That's exactly what we've needed here.
He is coming so soon. Sooner than any of us think.
You know where I can find Rick Reyna?
Yeah, I think I saw him backstage.
If you want God to make a difference in your life, I want you to raise your hands towards heaven, because I believe today is your day.
It's too late for you.
Cringe.
There is no power on this earth like the power of the love of God.
Your God can't stop it.
Coming out 2024.
Jeez.
Yeah, there you go. The crappy
You guys
ass
want to
editing.
go wait in line?
I mean, we should start now. As soon as the show's over.
Get a backpack in a tent. Go check that out.
Just hang out.
I wonder if there is a woke agenda in there. I wonder.
Jeez. That guy's that was like 7th grade play acting at best. And that girl yelling, "You'll never do that to me again."
What was that one Christian series? I remember when I was a child. The kid from
Heaven.
No, it was about the rapture.
Oh,
when everybody left, that kid from like Step by Step or something, or Family. I don't know. Man, what the hell was that called?
Not Left Behind.
Yes, the Left Behind series.
Dang it, I was gonna say that.
It looked cheesy like that. Because that was cheesy, man. Left Behind was terrible.
At least they didn't have any self-proclaimed demons in there that loves Jesus. The wind of God blows you coronavirus away.
The
wind of God.
The other guy that's crazy is Pat Robertson. Is he not dead yet?
Like yeah, I thought he died. Is he still alive?
Did he die?
I can't remember him between him and Bob Barker. I can't keep with how many times they die.
Mandellard.
Pat Robertson is still alive, and that's crazy because he is old. But if he made it through the coronavirus, I mean, what a shitty virus that was, huh? Couldn't even take out that guy.
It only takes out poor people, I guess.
Still alive.
Yeah, it's racist.
93.
93 years old. Man, I wish I could make it to 93.
Oh, I have no chance. None chance.
I was talking to Kaylee today, and I was, because my dad was gone at 76. So I'm 36. I technically have lived half my life if I'm lucky enough to make it to 70, 75,
Yeah, my mom died at 66, so I'm well past half.
Right, it's scary shit.
I'm not gauging my lifespan off of anybody in my past.
But you think you're gonna live forever, bro?
No, well, at least in this body, I'm planning on being over 100. Yes, and not one of those elderly ones that need help getting around either. I'm gonna be one like the Fu Ying Chung, white bearded, kicking the young people's ass, talking shit to me, get off my grass, type of deal.
I just watched a video. I just watched a video the other day of a person that's 105, and they say it's because they drink Coors Light every day. So it's just kind of
what?
Tell you, everybody's got a different reality of what keeps them happy.
Well, I really believe that our bodies are made to process things, right? This is why alcoholics can be alcoholics, whereas if we drank as much as they drink in one day, we would die. So it's because your body can learn to process whatever it is that you put through it. So I think that they're probably right? If your body gets into a pretty good habit of something, if that includes a Coors Light a day or something, then I could see you living a long time that way.
I love it. I love that you opened up that door because that kind of helps my argument with Austin. I'm telling him that I believe that it's our inherent core belief system, your subconscious belief system, that really dictates the individual's life. So therefore, we all have vastly different experiences, although they can have very many similarities. So people, the 8 billion of us out here, just with on the color spectrum, we know colorblind people are having a vastly different experience than the people who see, quote unquote, correct color, non-colored issues. I apply that with shapes and everything, thoughts. And when you look at we have a what's called corrected mirrors now. When you look at it, you see how other people see you. But when you see yourself, you feel like you're fucked up. Like you're looking at an inverted version of yourself.
Some people like cry or something.
Right. Yeah. Because you're seeing a version of yourself that everybody always know that you've never met before.
Right.
Because there's stories that mirrors themselves are, unnatural. So you're not
very strange.
God gave us the gift of not looking at yourself, looking into your own eyes, so therefore hindering yourself, becoming prideful and too egotistic and whatnot. So the invention of the mirror and putting it absolutely everywhere was a way of kind of setting another obstacle for humans to overcome, because now you're looking into, a platform, something that our ancestors didn't have outside of, metal or whatever. They could maybe see a small reflection or the water. And even in the water, to see your reflection, you would have to humble yourself and kneel down to the water. So you would have to lower yourself just to look at yourself. So that act alone was a way of humbling yourself, even to witness yourself. And then that still would be in a reverse image. These corrected mirrors will be messing us up because our perception of reality is based on the belief system about ourselves. So you start showing people that, hey, the belief about yourself might be more than what you're currently aware of.
Well, how about this fact? Did you know that there's people who have multiple personalities, right? Or schizophrenia or whatever. And that one of their characters is allergic to a food, will literally eat the food and break out because they're allergic to it. But the other character is not. So they've also had people where one of them needs glasses and the other one does not. So it is our belief. It is absolutely.
Wait.
Yeah,
so a person has two different personalities, and one person would be like, deathly allergic to peanuts.
Yep. But
the other person could just eat a peanut.
Yep. So I mean,
that
tells
is
us right there.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so how about the, people who need glasses? One person needs glasses, then the other character or the other personality doesn't.
I've heard with the language too. People have head injuries, speak complete only English, never studied another language. And that, matter of fact, this happened like a year ago. This guy now he got hit, severe brain injury. He was asleep for a couple of days. Woke up, now he speaks only German. He doesn't remember how to talk English anymore.
That's crazy.
I was just thinking of a movie. Sarah just shouted out the movie Split. Have you ever seen that movie?
Ooh, yeah.
It's like part 3 to Unbreakable.
That has the guy from who plays a young Xavier from the X-Men.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Do you remember the movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sequel to that.
Okay, Chadwick Boseman, that guy.
Yeah. Oh no. The director's the one guy everybody hates who does the.
Anyways, in Split, there's a guy who has these split personalities, and he would even, like, his physical features would change when he becomes this beast figure. He was like swole and jacked, stronger.
Yeah.
I know it's a movie, but it just took me to that programming.
Yeah. No,
but that's very interesting, man. Split personalities, complete different.
Well, there's like things like, hypnotism has always been a weird one for me. Once I realized hypnotism was real, then because I seen people quit smoking and quit things that they couldn't get off of, and then they just get hypnotized and boom, there's something flips a switch in your head, and then you can. I think that's
when you think about it, we've been hypnotized to smoke, so you could easily hypnotize yourself to quit that as well. It is all product placement,
right? I know. We got hypnotized to drink milk. I saw this TikTok the other day because you remember back in the late 80s and especially all throughout the 90s how they had that Got Milk commercial.
Oh yeah,
everybody was wearing a milk mustache, but we never really thought about it. Yeah, me too. I never really thought about it. I guess back in in the old wars, use milk as a substitute is real easy, and you can get it in abundance, and you can put it in powder form, ship it off to the wars. After all the big major world wars were over, you got these big old companies that these rich families invested in, thinking that the wars were going to go on forever. So now they got all this milk that they sitting on. So they put it all in the marketing, telling people and gave the subsidies back to the milk manufacturers. Like, hey, we're going to market you. We just need you to keep making milk, and we're going to tell everybody that everybody needs this good for you, good for your bones, and all this bullshit.
Everything's about money, man.
That's just like bacon in the morning. That's programming from Edward Bernays. If it wasn't for him.
How about the food pyramid? The food pyramid's full of bullshit.
Every pyramid is a scheme.
God damn, we can't have no non-scheming pyramids. God damn it, man.
Yeah, you'll take your kid in, they'll inject 5 different things in one day and then say, you know what, your kid can't have fish though. That's
right.
dangerous.
Right. It's a little dangerous for me.
Strawberries are dangerous at this age.
Right. Yeah. Now, can we put some thimerosal into his skin?
Give him this product that I can't properly pronounce.
You know what? He became allergic to the grass. I don't know how.
Imagine that. Yeah, that happened to my older son too. It's crazy that he kind of always had ADD, at least from the time that I was his sole caregiver. And then as years went on, I was kind of started to learn. I was like, man, I wonder if anything ever happened. So I finally talked to his grandparents. I'm like, did anything ever happen to him when he was vaccinated? They're like, oh yeah, one time he got vaccinated and he came home and had a seizure. Oh, he was never the same after that. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, do you know you have a year to file that? I even tried to call and tell him something. They're like, when did this happen? I was like, well, he got vaccinated when he was 6 months. How old is he now? 9. They're like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. So yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with, although, you kind of always get kind of these slap in the face. So we went no shots this time with Mabby, right? We did nothing. And he had allergies. So now he's kind of working through them. He's better, but still it was shocking to us because if we would have gotten him vaccinated and then he had allergies like this, we would have blamed the vaccines.
Yep.
So it's kind of weird because you're like, well, I wonder how many people are actually blaming. Now, again, I'm not for them at all. I wouldn't give them one. But
did she breastfeed?
Yeah. Yeah, still basically. I mean, she's still doing it at night. So, I mean, he's probably at 10% breastfeed right now.
Not to go dark with the stories, to add to that, but, you got, back in the 80s, I got a certain amount of vaccine.
Yep. Like 8. We got like 8.
Right. So
did your wife when she was a child?
Yep. And she would have got, I think she got a little bit more. Well, I think it was 88 that they went up. So I think she would have gotten the same. It's like now it's like a ton.
Like my baby mama from Cuba. And by the time she came over here, she had to get the Cuban vaccine. It's like this needle with like 10 fucking needles on it. So you see all this. She got a scarring on that shit now. I'm like, how many goddamn shots?
Geez, it's ridiculous. And and then you got so many people that just believe that they are the oh, if it wasn't for that, we'd still have polio. We'd still have, It's like do some research.
Right.
Don't just listen to what Big Pharma tells you, because I'll tell you what, they have profit in mind. I mean, this is why I didn't understand anybody who fell for the vaccine, with a Vaxaw Jim Duggan, because I didn't understand how you could ever not see that Big Pharma makes money off you being sick. It's just, they would never make a product where they're like, oh, this helps you not get sick. I mean, I always say it's like Oreo cookie making an Oreo cookie. It's like, eat this cookie and you won't like cookies anymore. It's like, I don't know if you would really sell those. Oreo doesn't make a lot of sense to you to sell those. No, we're going to give them away for free too. Free cookies.
It's the last cookie you'll ever need.
Yeah. It's like, I think you're going to make me sick with that cookie. So it seems very simple, very self-explanatory. That was the scariest thing about COVID, is that the amount of people that sided with the American government and Big Pharma over fellow citizens, which is got to be like the first time in history something so crazy has happened. Because I mean, I think we're like, don't you agree that our government is guilty of so much more than like our forefathers were? They left and started a new country and went to war over less than what's happening now.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, they weren't even getting the kind of
crazy
surveillance.
I mean, but to be fair though, they didn't have AC houses or internet or any.
It's true, and that's why they give us those things, so that you're comfortable. You feel comfortable.
You don't fight back
at home, right? And then you got, and again, I hate to say it, but religions like Christianity, which basically teach people just be a good person, sit in your house, let evil be evil, let wicked be wicked. Jesus will come and save you.
Sit on your hands.
Yeah, and then they sit around and they wait, and Jesus doesn't come, and
he's coming in the form of Trump, man.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Good old Trump. Grab her by the pussy. Thanks, Jesus. Whatever you say. Oh boy. No, I mean, that's just it's a whole savior mentality, I think, that they've built up in people. This is why they do superhero movies, right? Because it gives people that idea that it would take somebody great like that to save the world. So everybody kind of thinks that they have to wait for that. And really, we are our own saviors. I do really believe it would be almost wrong for something like that to come down and clean house, because really it almost shows you didn't have power, you didn't have the ability to do it. You had to wait until this.
Oh, people would crucify Superman if he showed up tomorrow, and then blame him for every problem. Why didn't you get here sooner? How come you didn't stop this? Don't you know Antarctica is freezing? Blah blah blah. Bro, Superman better stay his ass in Krypton.
Now, Superman, they have a lot of connections there with Jesus too, don't they? I mean, I've seen somebody do a pretty good connection, and I think his name is Kal-El. El is God, right? His dad's name is Jor-El. Right. And then he comes down and is born. Basically, don't they find him in like a manger in a field or something? I forgot the
spaceship. Candace boy.
Right. Yeah, in a spaceship. But there's a lot of connections there.
American Jesus. God, I love that story.
I always thought Superman was low key gay. So he might be gay.
Batman's gay.
They both wear tights, don't they?
Yeah, and underwear on the outside, right? Or they started off that way.
You don't know what was up with that.
But yeah, that's what it is, man. They want you to give your power up to external forces or people, organizations, even groups. It's groupthink mentality.
Yeah. Hey, Jeran, you believe in the singularity?
Well, explain what you mean by that.
The one that I'm in the understanding of is that we'll reach a certain point to where all information will in society, it won't be anytime soon, but in the future, when we have all these type of conversations we have now, and some we haven't even had yet, as a collective, we'll come to a point to where there's nothing really else for us to gather other than what we've already experienced. And everything.
Don't they already have that? I mean, don't they have the Tower of Babel website? Which
I've heard, but I haven't been to that. I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah, if you go to that website, it's everything that has ever been or ever could be written has already been written. So if I went there and I typed in Jeran Austin and on FMX radio on today's date, it'll show me what book, shelf, and page that's already been written on.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Yeah. Now it's not. It doesn't already exist. People get confused on that. It's not like it's just like Bitcoin addresses. There's 14 quadrivigintillion Bitcoin addresses. They do exist in the fact that we can tell the computer from 0 to this number. So all of them exist, but nobody's ever actually accessed them. So they don't really exist. And it's the same thing with these, right? There's no actual book with that written in there, but it's already been assigned a book and a place, and it will always be that book. It's not like if you go there and type that in, you're going to get one book, and if I go the next day, it'll be a different book. It's already cemented in that book because computers can do that. Computers are crazy when you can basically use the law of big numbers. Right. I mean, that's what Bitcoin is. It's just the law of big numbers. They imagined, well, if we just have an infinite set of numbers and each of those numbers has a key attached to it, then couldn't you give that out and it not be locked and anybody can, and that's basically what Bitcoin is, right? It's because they wanted to get away from a third party. Like if you've got Gmail, right? So I've got my Gmail address, that's public. And then Google has to keep track of my password in case I lose it, so that it is locked behind that. But Bitcoin, they needed something that doesn't have the Google. So how do you have a public address that you can give to people, but then the private key is something that, how do you do that? So that's what took them so long to do. They were trying since 1970 was to do this digital. And now they're going to bring in the CBDC and people will flock for it. It's pretty sad. They're able to just set people up so good.
I always predicted a way of getting them to people chip themselves or do whatever means that they want to get done to convince people is giving people tax breaks. You get 10-20% of your tax. You get to keep your own money basically if you do this thing.
You watch when they bring out the CBDC. I guarantee you they do buybacks where they'll say, "Give us $1,000 and we'll give you $1,500 in CBDC." And people will people, and right now we're getting to that point where people are so broke, people will be dying for that because
people were lining up to get their eye scanned, their retina scanned for some type of crypto.
Well, and I heard this the other day that there's a guy who's going around saying that, and I know this is true too, but that people now with that AI are able to get a hold of somebody's, let's say they figure out who my sister is. Okay, great. Now they AI her voice. So then they call me with her voice and say, "Hey, I just got in an accident and, I need $10,000 wired to this place." And they have like this whole sophisticated setup thing. And basically, but people are losing money left and right. But I think it's all meant to, they're going to try and bring some sort of internet identity requirement, which again, I mean, this is where it gets so hard because it's like, well, part of me is like, I see why you would do that. Obviously not a fan of it, but I could see why that people are going to be clamoring for it. I don't know if I told you this during COVID. I was at my parents' house for my mom and my dad and my stepmom. And she's talking to my sister and she's like, "Do you know, Kelly, that everybody's faking those paper passports, those paper vaccination records?" And my sister's like, "I know." And then she's like, "They just need to do something where we have a barcode on our phone that nobody." I'm like, "Oh my
God, no."
You know what? Put it on the back of my neck so it never goes anywhere.
You got to be kidding me. I'm just like, and that's what they do. They do a good job of setting that up so that people have no choice but to kind of like clamor for these things. And I knew as soon as I saw those paper copies of vaccination records, like, what are they doing? Like, you just fill it out. What are you, how are they going to?
Yeah, they wanted that.
They wanted it because then they could say, "Oh, these people were faking it. And then we need some sort of digital ID."
They tricking people into wanting it. No, you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. They were like talking about that. Can you believe it? I know what that we could do though. We could have a barcode on our phones. Like, oh man. I don't know if we can actually stay away from that unless we overthrow the government. Which,
physically,
which we're past that point. We really are kind of like, I don't know how much further you let it go, but if we let it go too much further, I'm not 100% positive we can stop it. So hopefully more people wake up. I think we're doing a good job. I think so many people woke up from COVID. Just people that I'm talking to just in real life, and then also like through Facebook or something. It seems like everybody's on board now. It's like, you just mentioned to somebody, you do know that we're not spinning on a space rock, right? They're like, "Oh yeah, it's a plane." Okay, good. Just double checking. And it's just, it's good because 5 years ago, you had a fat chance of talking to somebody who had even ever heard of it. So we're doing something right. Dave Weiss is doing something right. He's getting that app out to enough people.
Oh yeah, talking to a lot of normies out there.
Dave, you can check out when your number at the bottom of your app is 8 billion. Then we'll allow you to check out. Until then, you got work to do.
8 billion. That's light work, Dave. You got that.
Yeah, most people.
Where's it at now?
Oh, it's got to be
Pull it up.
120, 125.
I'll check it out.
Does he have a web app yet? Or is it only the phone still? We'll be able to pull it up, put a timer on the screen or something.
I think he's got just the app.
Just
We
the
can't
phone app,
overthrow
right?
anything. They have the police and the army. Yeah. Now, do you know what the 14th Amendment was before they changed it?
I
might
Not on
have
top of
it
my
here.
head.
It's crazy. I mean, this is why this country is so ridiculous. Like, we just get lied to on such a level. Let's see if I can find that. If I think I have it over here. Is it this one? Yeah. So this is the actual original Declaration of Independence, the original one, not the one that they give us now. And the Bill of Rights, where is it? Oops.
Oh, Dave said 80 mil. Nice. And he's going to develop it for the Mac and PC to follow. Yeah, finally.
No, he is going to do that.
Yes.
123,000.
Oh, that was a good guess by me.
Damn.
Where did I put this here? I thought it was on this page. So the actual 14th Amendment was originally, let me read it to you, and you'll be shocked because it's like, okay, well, look at where we're at now. What is going on here? Hold on. I thought I was in the right spot. I guess not. What is up with this? It's this one here, right? Google search.
I'd like to thank you all for joining today.
Come on, I ain't gonna do that.
What's going on here? Declaration of Independence, 1776. Yes, this one. Open with PDF changer. Okay, let's see. Section 1.
Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it's, I'm sorry, 13, Section 13 of the Bill of Rights says that a well-regulated militia composed of a body of the people trained to arms is the proper, natural, and safe defense of a free state, that standing armies in times of peace should be avoided as dangerous to liberty, and that in all cases the military should be under strict subordination to and governed by the civil power. So they had to remove that one. That basically tells us that we shouldn't have standing army when we're not at war, and yet that's all we have. The army was be exactly how
The whole thing was written to protect us from the government, not
Correct.
from, neighbors.
Yep. So pretty right. And then I read a book by Percy Blythe Shelley, I believe is who wrote it, and this is like in late 1800s, early 1900s, and he was basically saying, here's what's coming, guys, just so you know, is that we're already paying 1 cent per dollar in tax, which is crazy because we pay 40 cents now. But he was saying, and what they're going to do is they're going to keep asking for more money. And he says, and when we stop and say, no, we're not giving you any more, then they will attack our own country, because they can make people think, if they say, oh, thanks for the penny. Okay, give us 2 pennies. All right, thanks for the 2 pennies. Give us 3. And then when somebody says, no, we're not giving you 3, then they'll just go fake an attack and come back to look what happened. You guys didn't give us enough money. We didn't have money to protect you. So now we need 3 pennies. And then people are so afraid they just give up more money. And now look where we're at now. Income tax wasn't even here 100 years ago.
Right.
So,
and we had electric cars 100 years ago. And they disappeared too. Then they came back shittier than before with a stupid South African asshole attached to it.
Oh, Elon Musk. What a good guy, huh?
Bro, you see him trip out the other week
on stage when he was like, go fuck yourself.
Telling Bob Iger to F off.
Yeah, it was nice.
Everything else was a stutter, though. I really couldn't put anything else together after that.
No, I don't know about that guy. He's very, I wonder if they're even fooling space to him. I think I'm the only person who says that. But
I think so.
You think so?
I don't think he would be given that kind of knowledge. I think, I do believe in his own mind. He thinks he's waking up or what. He's just a useful idiot, just like Trump.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump's in it, no.
I think you're right. I think that it's much better to have people who are like, I don't believe in there's so many. I know a lot of people think McToon is paid, and they're paid by YouTube. I mean, just normally, they get ad rev that we wouldn't get. But as far as they don't pay anybody to go and pretend, because if they did, that's a liability. As soon as you pay somebody, here's $100,000, you're going to go lie about the earth. That person could at any time just be like, fuck, I don't feel right about doing this. I'm just going to tell people what's going on. And that would be hugely detrimental. So what works better for them is to actually get real believers. If you get real believers, then there's no liability. That person really believes, and somebody who really believes is much less of a chance of them spilling the beans than because they already really believe it, right? So like Neil deGrasse Tyson, these guys are Bill Nye. I just think that they are really believers. They're just nerds who kind of
Plus, their ego is stroked all the time.
Oh, it's, I mean,
you know?
yeah. And yeah, because in order for them to be like they were wrong, it means that you've been speaking to children for 20 years in auditoriums and been lying. So, I mean, it's just that they know human nature too well. I think that's why these German scientists were doing over there, Mockingbird and stuff like that. I mean, they know the human psyche, so they can just play people really well.
Yeah,
At least you have good music on the show.
Hey, appreciate that. FMX Radio, everybody. We appreciate you. Just a reminder that we love your attention. We love you hanging out with my man Jeran in Austin from the Melodome, doing our things, getting ready for the True Earth Summit this weekend. Got a lot of good people coming, sharing their energy and information with you. Yes, you, the great individuals out there who's also searching for truth like us. And even though we don't know where the fuck we're at, we're trying to figure it out, and we appreciate your help with us.
I think I know where we are, but I don't think anybody likes it. But I think that
where are we, Jeran? Tell everybody. Tell me.
We are on Earth. No, I think we exist in a magical place, and it's like the mind of God. Right?
I love it. Ooh, so this place is mental.
Yes, absolutely. It's like that's why the simulation theory is kind of correct, but I think it gives the wrong idea because people then think that it's not real,
like
Matrix. Right, and it is real. This is as real as reality's going to get. So I think that we just exist, and I think it would be that way if we were grown up without being indoctrinated. We would look at the world and realize it's magical, and realize that things like the sun and moon are signs of creation, and we would love each other and things like that. But when you have people who have intercepted that and said, no, we came from a big bang, and there is no God, and evolution is responsible. Well, what that creates is the world that we live in now, which is people just. And I get it. I mean, if I really felt that way, I think I would be a completely different person. I think that the reason I don't do some things is because I'm being moral. So if I all of a sudden found out, oh, there is no God and nothing matters, then all that really matters is don't get caught. That's the basic rule of the universe, which I just don't think that can be true. There's no way. There's just no way to me. So, yeah, I mean, as far as like what's these planets and I think we're the basement of the universe. I think that we are the place where life exists, and everything else is just a light in the sky that they've lied about, and people then believe it.
So the other week, the awesome footage between the unfocused lens from looking at the moon to looking at the sky, which was very impressive. But he also showed us how there's those little supposed quote unquote moons going around Jupiter.
Yeah.
Why extra lights around a big light?
Yeah, you got me. I don't know. But I don't know what they, as far as what the size of them is or how far away they are. That's where I have a problem because there's no independent verification, right? It's not, you can't just tell us what that's in the sky. Cause then, what the Globers say is that, well, I look through my telescope and I see Jupiter. So therefore it's real. Okay. But it doesn't mean it's what they told you that it is or how far away it is or any of that stuff. And again, as you read some of these old books, like I've been reading the last couple of days, you find out that they've been saying this the whole time, that there is no proof of these math equations that they're giving. Again, we are told the sun's 867,000 miles wide. How do we know that? Who measured it? Well, nobody. So it really is just postulations. It really is basically educated guesses. And then they find a mathematics that works. This is why the sun was 3 million miles away, and then 12, and then 52. And they just were able to keep changing it. And now we're at a place where they've kind of settled on pretty good numbers. And then people think that means it's true or that it's evidence of that or something, but it's not. I mean, again, you can't. Why would you ever believe somebody telling you about a place that you can't go and verify? It's not like, and people always say, oh, if you've never been to New Zealand, but you believe it exists. Yeah, because there's other people in New Zealand, right? It's not the people that are in space are these, first of all, Freemasons and these other jokers. But if you get past them, even they've never even gone even past the moon, even what they say. That we have this like this crew of astronauts that just seems so dumb to me. The Don Pettit, like how was that guy 1 out of 4,000?
Oh, but he was somebody's bastard son, and stupid, so they had to give him a job.
How nice of them. Yeah. Well, then don't tell us that you have 4,000 applicants and out of 4,000 only one gets hired, because then I look at them like, what were the other 3,900? Were they dead?
Well, John Pettit's so stupid he applied too many times, like 3,000 times.
So I finally got in. That's a pretty good idea.
I did it.
That Tim Pete guy has Benny Boy shared a link in the Melodome Telegram group that he has he's doing like a speak, and they're selling tickets, and they're they're so expensive to just hear these clowns talk, and it would be so cringe.
They never. Every time you see them talk, we've all seen their snippets. They say the same shit, and they never explain anything. Well, so what's it like in space? Oh, it's it's black, and the smell of space. It smells like, like space. It's great. I'm floating up there. We wear the gorilla suits. I'm like, what? That's not what
What's the girl's name that always was showing images of the ISS, and she's like, I know this looks like a cartoon,
Katie Coleman,
but this is really real. It's really, really real.
I know it looks like CGI, but it's really, really real. Like says it every single speech. Like, give it up.
She must be like part AI her damn self the way.
I remember I used to love, because for a while, and the kids were asking the astronauts, and they would always say, like, what's your favorite thing about space? I'm like, here it comes. Oh, the favorite thing is the curvature of the Earth. As I looked, I was like, shut the hell up.
Like, that's it. There's nothing better in space.
Nothing better than the curvature
of the Earth.
Oh, it's the curved Earth.
Unanimous.
So cool. Yeah, right. These people, they're just frustrating. But again, I mean, people, it's like that whole thing with right now at least in California, they're just letting people get away with stealing shit. And it's like,
I heard.
Oh, it's just terrible. But it's like, once you do that, then everybody else that catches on. And somebody had their kid taken away, and they were going real hard at the government, really, really hard. And the government's just not budging and just keeping their kid. And I was trying to talk to him, and I said, I really think that if you backed off, they would give your kid back. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, this government cannot let anybody win. So I said, so to them, you going after them and getting your kid back is you winning. So if that happens, then you're setting a bad example for everybody else, according to them, because then people feel like they can win and they're going to go and challenge the government. I said, so to me, it's like they're fighting you because you're fighting them. And they got, real upset. They're like, what are you saying? I just do nothing to get my kid back. I'm like, look, I'm not in your position. And if I was, I'd be in jail, first of all. But I said, second of all, I'm just saying from an outsider's perspective, yeah, it looks like you're just banging your head against a wall and the government's just not budging because they can defeat you easily. That's why they've got so many people. Like, you might be thinking you're doing some damage to them. You're not doing any damage to them. They don't even care. And it's like they're just doing it to prove a point. So I think that happens a lot too, that people they think, I guess, that they can like go up against these guys real hard. And I don't think that that's the right method sometimes. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Especially like these people who get pulled over and they try and be smart with cops or whatever and end up getting tackled to the ground and stuff like that. It's just one of those things where it's up to, I guess it can be up to each individual person what they do in that time.
So where's your progress as far as signing the new papers to become a nationalist? Because I'm on that train all day right now.
I've just signed up at the site. I haven't done anything else. Just with the summit, I think I need to get through this. So come Monday or something, my plate will finally be a little bit more clear, and I can start working on that. But I do want to do that. I think that the way it was explained to me this time made a lot more sense, and I got it. Because I also started an unincorporated business. And I've just noticed that that's kind of the same thing. Like, once you've said that, so unincorporated means you're not incorporated with the government, right? So when you incorporate, then you are asking for protections from the government, meaning if something happens to my business, something I get sued, whatever, then there's all these legal and tax things that go in. But if you're unassociated or you're not unincorporated and unassociated, then you have no protection from the government. But it's also, then you're on your own, right? And the government, it acknowledges that and says, okay, you're on your own, fine. And they don't do anything. They don't touch you. So I think it's kind of the same thing as you can become a citizen, then you have a lot less protections by the government. This is why if you mail them a letter and say, hey, I want to remove they just mail you one back that says, we can't help you. We can't help free persons. So they're basically telling you, you can become that, but then you have no more protection by the government. But most of us don't want it.
Yeah, for whatever that protection's worth.
Yeah, what have you done for me?
It seems like it means that they're not going to beat you anymore. Their protection is like, look, we're going to keep hitting you till you don't feel the pain anymore.
They're like the mob, right?
Yeah,
well, that's we're just describing what I just described. So the same thing is true. Like, the mafia cannot go around and collect money from all the restaurants and allow one of the restaurants to say, "Fuck you, we're not paying," because if they do that, then it rubs off on everybody else. Then the mafia goes away. So the mafia only works as long as they make sure everybody pays. Well, the government's the same way. The government only works and continue doing what they're doing as long as they never let citizens win, because they can't. Imagine if we saw somebody go up against the government and sue them for propaganda or something and then win, everybody be like, what? okay, we're all going to court. We're all taking. So that's why it doesn't happen, is because they. And I think, do you guys think that the government respects us a little bit?
No.
The
No.
state nationalists, I think, do. I think they respect people who respect themselves. So if you go out of your way to learn, I think that's why they kind of lean back. And I mean, they're all state nationalists, right? The Clintons and them, they knew about this before we got turned on to it. So I think they do respect a certain amount of people, even though we're all dirty, nothing, low grade, bug eaters. There's a certain, there's a small percentage of us that they'll be like, all right, well, at least he took the
Yeah.
initiative to go find out and make the moves. It's not like I'm going to not be rich if this few people don't pay the taxes, because most people are so damn lazy. They won't even, go find out the information, let alone take the easy steps to declare yourself as a living being. I'm here. I exist. Stop screwing me over.
Right.
Doesn't seem like it's going to take much more than that, because why should it be more than that? It took even less than that to get us to where we are now.
Yeah.
I don't even think we need to take them to court, really. If we were to just, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I've said this. I said it this morning, said it a few times. If, with elections coming up, it'd be a huge statement if nobody went to these polls, because, the next day there is no narrative that they could push. It doesn't matter. We got this narrative, they stole it. It's rigged.
It's just like how realistic is that?
Happen. Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
Is we'll never get, and I mean, that's the problem, is that half
just as realistic as letting us win one of those
right.
court cases.
Right, exactly. It's just not going to happen, because they just they've convinced too many people, and there's too many people that feel like I think that they've convinced them that they love the slavery, right? They love it. They love the life that they get to live. Oh, on Saturday and Sunday I get to go out and drink with my friends, and so I get to watch football on Sundays, and that's what gets people off and makes them happy. So once you've done that, then these people don't even. That's why you try and tell your friends something about the government. They don't even care. Like, what? I have other things to do. So that's this thing that sucks, is I don't know how you would ever wake up everybody. And this is why they turn 50% of the country against 50% of the country, because you'll never, ever, ever again have a cohesive citizenry, right? What should happen, you should have, like, whoever's the president, let's just pretend that it was real, then the whole country should be behind that president. It shouldn't be it's the president on the right, then everybody on the left hates him. Oh, he's the president on the left, everybody on the right hates him. Because what that does is it creates this situation where the government can never be overthrown. Because in order to overthrow the government, you would need to have a cohesive citizenry. Well, half of them would be against you throwing over the government, just like when they supposedly the insurrection, right? Half the country was absolutely against people doing that. Well, that's a problem. How are you ever going to overthrow the government if half the country is on the side of the government? And you watch, if Trump wins, which he will, then it's going to be just a flip flop. Now everybody on the right's going to be all happy, and the left's going to be not my president, and the right's going to be clamoring for ending their free speech. It's just a flip flop back and forth. That's why politics is a game. It's not even real.
Is this a strategic move by the establishment to get people to see Trump as a cool kid on the block right now? Trying to arrest him, doing all this extra stuff. I'm like, really? I'm like, y'all doing this now? It seems like a way of kind of fluffing him up.
I think so. They want that. I think they want him to win. So, it makes it look like he's anti-establishment. But I mean, all you need to do is look at last time. He told everybody that if he was president, Hillary would go to jail. And then he became president. And that day, she shows up at his dinner press conference or whatever. And he says, everybody, stand up. This is a very great woman here. Her great husband. I mean, now they're all buddies. It's like, what happened? You just said you were going to put her in jail. Now she's a great person. That doesn't seem right. And I mean, that's, drain the swamp and do all this.
Nobody that even has like true good intentions for the people like us would never get to that level anyways.
No,
never.
Nope. You got to be.
They're grooming you, as you're a governor or whatever. You're being groomed, working your way up there.
Even CEOs is the same way, right? Like if you're a CEO of the company, you're a dirtbag. I mean, it's just pretty much a prerequisite. I mean, if you manage more than 50 people in a business that you own, you've stepped on some necks, you've fired people that you shouldn't, you've been a dick, because you kind of have to be in order to be in that position. So it's like they move up to the top, the psychopaths.
Oh yeah. I've been seeing it since I've been working. Well, I'm not going to say they're all psychopaths, but the company just let go of a psychopath that I work for, and she was cutthroat for sure. And she was one of those top people, and it gets to their head, Absolutely.
purple
Gets their
hair
head
too.
to
So
ego.
Well, like, do you want to be? If I were to say, okay, I want you to be governor of it. I mean, you don't want that job. Neither do I.
Hell nah.
Yeah. So the people that are actually good people don't want to rule over anybody.
Dude, I didn't even want the job they gave me now. they had to
You're
throw
like, I
more
gotta manage
money at
2
me.
people, Jose and
Yeah.
Luis. I don't want to manage them. No, I mean,
Right.
I'm the same way. It's like, people always, the whole thing about, what a alpha, beta, gamma, all these things. But it's like, no, I'm certainly not no alpha because I don't want anybody following me. That's the last thing I want. Like, leave me the fuck alone. That's as clear as I can be to you. I don't want, I mean, it just so happens you have to mix it up right now. But it's like, otherwise, I don't want to be leading anybody. I don't want to be in charge of anybody. I don't want to govern people. I don't want to tell them what to do. But there's people out there that get off on that, and they're the ones who gravitate into those positions. So could you be a mayor of a city and be legit? Probably. But I think anything beyond that, you've taken a deal, you've taken a bribe. I mean, look at these people like Nancy Pelosi, multimillionaire. What has she done? Nothing. She just is a person in Congress. So obviously she's getting inside deals and stock trading and tips. And
yeah, I think on a local level things can work. I mean, there is a lot of corrupt counties here in Florida. We got Brevard and Polk County. And
oh man,
very.
What's the other one? What's the one that was where the Stoneman Douglas is? Broward. That's
Broward County.
Broward, yeah, everything happens.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible,
right?
Man.
And but at a local level, if it were to be downsized, because obviously things are happening, people are voting in certain things, like the recreational marijuana that's been getting passed in a couple states. So I think at a local level, yeah, it could work if people are paying attention to it, right?
Right.
Because that's the thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't follow it. Is that a problem? Like, should I be looking into it, or does it do more damage that I'm saying they're all liars and I don't care?
Right. No, I mean, because really you're not going to make a difference, but it's then how many people are like you, right?
Right.
And then if there's 1,000 people like you, then it's like, oh, well, those 1,000 can make a difference.
Right.
Could one of us? I don't know. It's like my wife is really trying to get down on meat, and we're down to like just steak and fish. And it's like she will keep having to say, I'm like, look, the cow's already dead. Like, don't worry. She's like, no, but if there's 1,000 people saying that same thing, and I'm like, no, then I get you. That's true. But I'm like, just talking about locally here that you not eating steak is not going to save that cow's life. It's already dead. Eat the damn tri-tip, all right?
Want some A1 sauce?
Don't worry, we're gonna be eating all clone cows in a few years anyway, so you don't got to worry about it no more.
Great.
Doesn't matter if you go vegan; they're spraying the shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, on top of putting all the stuff in there that keeps the meat red for weeks at a time.
Or the glue have you seen where they show you?
I've seen the glue.
Wow, that's crazy. And then I got some magnets sticking to my steak and even took it down to the store and had them. It was like sticking little neodymium magnets were sticking.
I got magnets sticking to pork chops once a few years ago when my dad was still around. He picked some up. It's during that whole,
like, oh, it's just iron. It's in everything. Oh yeah, that's a lot of iron.
Hey, well, we're trying to make us Iron Men,
Yeah, right. Like, how are we ever so? That's the one that gets me. Is like, why was I ever so stupid to think that like we all went to school to get smart? Like, it's just so dumb now to look at it and think like obviously the elite are in charge. Obviously, people with money are in charge, and the last thing they would ever do is be like, let's equip everybody to take our money and power. It's like it would just never happen. It
was a good spiel, though. It was we all going to space. We wouldn't be living. We were supposed to be on the moon right now in a casino. I was supposed to have a pool on the moon right now. They promised me all types of good
supposed
shit.
to be hotels.
I remember. I was 5th grade, 1995. They told me, "Oh yeah, by the time you my age, little Chris, you're gonna be flying around the earth. It's gonna be pennies. Everything's gonna be cheaper."
They were so right too. They also told us we'd never have a calculator in our pocket, and then everybody has a calculator in their pocket.
Yeah,
these were just off. Wherever you could say something, you were off. You got it wrong. You got it wrong every time.
Yeah.
And like, they're still not even teaching kids right in school. They're still not like teaching coding and things like that. Like, why aren't you teaching computer coding? Like, it just makes no sense to me that we are still so antiquated in the way that we raise kids. Like, I think at a certain age, you should have them like choose what they're good at, right? Like when they're 10, 12, I don't know. If your child's not going to be good at math, they don't need to do algebra. Stop sending people. It just turns people off. I hated algebra.
I mean, we have behavior studies tests that I remember giving to it as a child that where they would do this like hypothetical placement by you taking this test. Now it only gauged where you were at that time in your life,
Right. But
but
would
the
they
idea
change your actual education at that point?
well, hypothetically, that would have been like it was this teacher's little program thing, and
Okay.
so it was not a real thing. But she was like, in a good world, this is kind of gauge what you would be naturally good at. Makes perfect good sense because there's going to be some
Right.
of us who are naturally good at numbers and math and that the left side of the
Right. So
brain.
let
There's
them go to algebra class and not
exactly let them focus on that and give them the projects that they would enjoy and be naturally good at. Grow that within them so that way they become somebody who's efficient at that type of thinking in that way, and they'll
Absolutely.
never work again because all this comes natural to them. Same thing with the far people, good with their hands, who likes to
So
be
look what
around
school
food
does,
and
right?
grow.
School forces everybody into one box. They all become the same exact thing. They're just the same. Maybe
Yeah.
they believe in it. Maybe their strength
Clones.
is a different subject, but they're all the same. They're yes men. They
all think the same. Yeah.
right.
Kids are going to school, they're going to high school knowing some of these answers are wrong.
Yeah.
But if they don't put that right answer, they fail, So it's not about what's true, it's just regurgitation.
Yep.
Yeah, repeating.
And then what comes out of college is that I'm shocked. My sister came out of college, completely different person. Was just like, what the hell happened? She's one right now that will tell you, like, oh, Jeran, blacks can't be racist to whites. I'm like, what do you mean?
It's science. It's science.
Like, what do you mean? Yes, they can. And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, what about when they were telling people get on your knees and say Black Lives Matter? She goes, that is a response to racism. I'm like,
that's
wow. Okay. Whatever you say, she got her master's degree, and says these people, they come out and they're just like so different. It's about equity, not equality.
I didn't know they had a master's on racism.
Well, actually, they probably do now if you think about it.
Yeah, like, look here, Jared. I have my certificate right here.
Oh, she got her master's in art history. I'm like, okay, good thing I'll never need to come to you for any art history. Like, why would I ever need to call my sister? Like, I have a question about the postmodernist paintings. No, I don't. I don't have any questions about that. Sorry. I got to go in about 5 minutes. I got my debate at 3.
Yes, go ahead. Promote that real quick. Tell us, everybody, who we're talking about, what's the topic, and how fun it's going to be.
So today should be fun. We got Sacred Knowledge, who people know if you ever watch my
he's a character.
Speaker's Corner. He calls in basically every show.
And
likes to talk about all mountains are melted buildings. And somehow in the whole thing,
Karen loves melted buildings.
Karen's a big fan of melted buildings. She thinks everything is. No, she didn't know, or she does not think that. So for a while, it was this back and forth where he would come on my show and he would like, I'll debate her. And then, but now that I've got the show and he challenged her and she said yes. So that's going to be today in about 28 minutes. It'll be Sacred Knowledge against Karen B. Should be fun. We were supposed to have FTFE against Austin tomorrow, but FTFE pushed out because he maybe went back and watched his demolishing by Caleb, and he's like, okay, maybe I don't want to be.
I got that ass whooping.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I saw some of it.
Oh my god,
Caleb's become a pro, man, in a matter of a few years.
Caleb's great. Hey, he's got really good. I think it has a lot to do with memory. You have to be able to pull things up really easily. Yeah, you got to be quick with that. And I'm not always good with that. I mean, if I had time to let me kind of put my thoughts together, I can do better.
It's that THC had it blocks stuff
maybe
coming in too fast.
Maybe it's something THC besides the hat.
Right. Exactly.
But no, it's just fun. I like doing those shows. Some people are pissed off. I saw Daniel Pratt crying like a little baby yesterday. The whole the whole thing again about me again is Jeran's pandering to trannies or something. It's like, what is going on? People are just crazy. I don't understand why people don't realize, like, what do you mean? Because I had Brenda on the show. It's not pandering to trannies. It's just, I think it, for me at least, I don't mind putting those people on my show. McToon, Fight the Fat Shirt, her, because they expose themselves to me. Now, if other people don't see it that way, then I don't feel like they're really secure in their flat earth belief. Because if you are, then what these guys are saying is just they have nothing. They have nothing. I think when Brenda gets up there, she looks like a fool. I think when Toon gets up there, they have no answers. They just are yes men. The physics book says this. It's like, to me, I don't mind them getting up there and exposing themselves. So I get it. Some people don't want that. People don't want that on my channel for whatever reason. But you should realize it's my channel. and I probably never told you. Have I ever told you what to do on your channel, Chris? Ever?
No, not yet. Nope, I'm waiting.
Probably not going to happen.
I mean, it'd be a lot easier if you did. Just tell me when to go live. I don't have to schedule shit,
That's true. I'll just do it for so it'd be funny today. I don't know.
It's gonna be great, man.
You got people triggered about this meltology debate. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that they are triggered. But what people
are saying it's a fake debate. It's a setup to make meltology look stupid.
Yeah.
First of all, Mr. Free from Who, Brenda is a genius and a treasure in our community. So you need to show some respect to her, him, and she.
That's
they,
true. And then them, they.
Them.
Yes, all
deserves.
No, I mean, yeah, and this is the kind of thing where I don't get why people are so like everything's got it's a setup. No, nothing's a setup. These two are just going to talk. And you know what? Your job as an observer is to listen to people's honest opinions and then make up your mind from that. And it doesn't mean that because Sacred doesn't do a good job of presenting it or whatever, that it means anything bad to what the belief is. It just doesn't. And I think people think that like, oh, if this guy did bad at a debate, then it's going to ruin the whole thing. Like, get over it. That you're the only one that can allow that to happen. So
I seen the guy who claims to have came up with the idea of melted buildings run away from Karen on a live stream. So,
well, I mean,
you don't want to get shot.
I want to watch it because I don't see a lot of evidence enough at all. I mean, not at all. I mean, as far as is there a reset in the past? Yeah, I think that there was, and I think that you're going to find some areas that are resets. That's fine. But the one, and I always try, if you watch the show, I would always try and get Sacred to say, but not all buildings, not all mountains. He'd be like, no, all mountains. Like, just don't say that. Just don't. I mean,
I'll becomes prepared.
There is piles of dirt, right? You can pile dirt up. So don't tell me all mountains are melted buildings.
Dirt actually comes from old buildings.
Right. I mean, that's what I think.
Earth is actually dirtless. It's just water and rock.
It literally was flat rock. At one time. It was just flat as could be.
Pancake flat. God's mirrored floor. Just linoleum across the land.
Hey, have you heard this one? Have you heard people that believe that Jesus already came back and lived 1,000 years in charge?
I recently heard that.
I didn't know that.
It makes sense why we haven't seen him though.
Yeah,
and then they're saying that all of these melted buildings or ancient cathedrals were during the time of his reign.
Correct. Same thing with pyramids. Pyramids would have been built during that reign.
And he left us here again. They left us again.
Well, the Bible says, you'll be here. Satan has to be let loose. I don't know why God always.
Oh yeah, that little season. That's right.
It'd be 1,000 years. The long
Somebody needs to teach God how to do permanent damage. Like after he screwed up the whole world and he flooded everybody, get rid of him, and then it doesn't happen again. But now he's like, nah, I'll just leave him down there. Maybe he'll get better. Nope,
he's a loving God, Jeran.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like he's going anywhere.
That's true. It's not like he's got time. He's
got eternity. He's like, eventually, Satan's going to learn his lesson and stop fucking with these humans.
Right. And a couple 100 billion people that have to deal with it. It's not all right.
I mean, it's only been several eons, billions of years. It's a couple billion more.
All right, I'm gonna head over there.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Check out True
Anytime.
Earth Summit this weekend, everybody. Don't forget you can purchase your tickets. Check out my code True Earth 1111 or the Melodome code. Either one's fine with us. Check it out. All the great speakers this weekend. Jeran, thank you again, my friend.
Thanks so much. Yeah, trueearther.com. Check out the site. And again, you get all the past stuff for free. And I think Mount Meru, the original one, is still up there for free. So if you want to just check out the site and see how it works, you can do that.
Hell yeah. You're a legend, brother. Appreciate you.
Guys.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. See you, buddy. FMX
that was great.
Yeah, baby.
That was awesome.
Doing all the fun things, hanging out with all the big dogs from across the. I used to watch my mans years ago. I was like some of y'all that's not talking in the chat, quiet, just learning and listening and gauging, trying to figure out who's real, which one of you are shills.
Yeah,
the government secretly pays me $10 a month. Just lie
Don't say that. People are gonna run with
Flip
that.
it, do it, TikTok it too. FMX exposed, $10 a month. He's rich.
Yeah, I remember listening when I first came across Jeran, just listening, not being in the chat. And then all of a sudden you hit that live chat button. You're like, are these people real in here? And then you eventually type in there and then you start building online friends.
And then you become a Russian bot like the rest of us.
Yeah, right. There you go.
That's right. Free from Who says, check out Brenda's OnlyFans page. You can see a freak show for yourself for the mere price of $250 a month. You're going to love it. Chris is part of there, the first subscriber since her's been a thing.
Chris said he's going to check out our privates in the name of science.
in the name of science.
Or
Somebody
his
needs to
privates,
do it.
I don't know.
Somebody needs to do it. I have enough childhood trauma to last me 4 lifetimes, so I will not be viewing such creatures of abominations that live among us. No, thank you, sir. Ma'am, sir. Him, sir, you. Dot. X, what do they call themselves? I don't know. I can't keep up. LGBTQ, ups, W, X, Y, and Z. You're here. AI simulation radio station, FMX radio. We're doing big things here.
Yeah.
This will be the last, from what I know, and I know there's still 3 weeks left, but this will probably be the last FMX radio for the year. I am moving this weekend, and we have the trivia next week. I'll find some way of getting on there with y'all. But yeah, we got good things coming up, and hopefully next time you see me in a new studio, we'll have a new background, like refurbishing everything, selling the house, moving to a new house, and blah, blah, blah. Things are happening at the end of this 2023 for your boy. And I hope things are happening for you too, because we got a great 2024 coming up. It's been an awesome year, and a great roller coaster. So you've got more spins and twirls and twists and tunnels to go through for the new Christmas and New Year season just around the corner. Hope everybody has a blessed rest of your week. 10,000 blessings upon all of your houses. Austin, give me a shout out before we leave to everybody. We got over 90.
Ooh, I can do that. We got a lot of people here, man. Let me start here. We got Doug Maurer. What's up, brother? Dougie Fresh in the house. We got Naika's here. She's telling everybody hit the thumbs up. We got Adam. Adam says there's more love in this chat than he sees in his day-to-day.
Yes!
That's right, baby. That's right. That's what it's about, baby. The love is real. True Earth Entertainment. We got Wes FE, no longer on the ball. Free from who? Chris. We got our boy Lowry, one of the contenders of the upcoming Trivia for Charity, December 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern. We also got Big Pine Sailing, BPS. What's up, bro? Mrs. Tribune, CJ, Thunder Chicken, Brian Parker. Who else we got? Christopher L. It's a Duck. We got Lev Shaolin, Angela Baby Carson.
It's a duck.
We got JJ the Gift Giver in the house.
Hey.
FE Nation. FE Nation, what's up? Rob Glow. Man, we got a bunch of people here. QTA in the house. Yes. Nick here, of course, as always. Much love. Mario C. BCB Brian here. Bunch of great people, man. Achilles 7. Much love. Three Fingers. Non-Profit Bear. Kelly. Robert Kelly. Andrew B. You guys are awesome, man. Thanks for being here, kicking it with us today. This was a good stream, brother.
Yeah, man, this is a good turnout and good company, good conversation. We like to, keep it pushing those creative limits of our imagination, because it's the only way to attract those new thoughts, brand new thoughts, at least to us, that, we traditionally don't really gather, because we've been stuck in the same program paradigm of this mental construct for so long. We become so comfortable with the way we think it's the only way to think, and everywhere else is wrong. No. Us together, collectively, we will find a new pathway to go and use our endeavors and our powers and our gifts for something more. And I'm very lucky to be here and to have all your great attention. Thanks for sharing your time with me on this great Woden's Day afternoon. Tomorrow's Thor's Day, and then the day of Freya, and then good old baby eater himself Saturday. Or whatever his name is, will be around the corner along with the True Earth Summit and all the good things happening. Have no fear in your hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is happening according to the great divine's plan. You must believe that, or you're going to have a very hard time trying to figure out why all this craziness happens beyond your current ability to understand. But it's all good. We're all here. We're all in the same boat. It's a very big boat, though. Sometimes we're on the other side of it. We don't see each other. It's all good. One love out there, Melodome. Tell them, man, I hope you have a great rest of your day, too, my friend.
Yeah, man, for sure, brother. I just enjoy these conversations, man. It's great having Jeran on, starting from watching him from the distance of the chat to coming all to here, having a platform, sharing it with you, and just creating these great vibes, a great place for people to come kick it and enjoy themselves. It's great vibes here, brother. I think what we got going is something good. We got to keep it moving.
Oh, yeah,
like you said, man, next year's just going to be stronger. It seems like every year we're coming in stronger,
Oh, yeah.
Keeping it moving. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Another year. Leveling up, baby. That's what it's about.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Time to go cook dinner, everybody. Go ahead, roll your thing up, take your shoes off. Go watch that Jeran's debate. I'll probably see you on the chat rooms too.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that. All the mountains are melted buildings and vice versa and all that fun stuff. I don't know. I don't live in that type of timeline reality myself, but I don't know everybody else's experience. Maybe homeboy has seen some shit that I don't want to look at. So,
Angela said in the chat, not all of them. I will say there's some that definitely look like melted fucking buildings. Okay, that look like them. Okay, I'll give you that. There's something.
Right.
There was some. I believe there could be some reset events happening, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the debate for sure. Karen's gonna crush it.
All right, with that, we out. Play you a little CMG, little quick promo and whatnot. But FMX Radio, we out. Love y'all. 10,000 blessings, please.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, people? Alex Michael here, Conspiracy Music Guru. And you are listening to FMX Radio on Rockfin. Yeah, let's raise those vibrations.
I told you so. I told you. Remember when I told you about 9/11? Remember when I told you about Building 7? Remember when I told you about the fluoride in the water? Yes, I did. Remember when I told you about the New World Order? Remember that? Remember when I told you about the chemtrails in the sky? Remember when I told you that NASA was full of lies? Remember when I told you about the ultra mind control? Well, I just want to say that I told you so.
Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
We choose to go to the moon.
I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here.
First question I was wondering, when are we going back to the moon?
It's taken us many years to open this door to useful cooperation in space between our two countries. And may I say, in signing off,
here's to a soft landing.
All of them spin-offs of space technology. That's why Jimmy Carter from Georgia
and Gerald Ford from California agree.
Space technology has down-to-earth benefits for everyone.
America is going to space again, and we're going there to stay.
And next, for the new century, back to the moon, back to the future, and this time, back to stay.
That's a great dream. But that and our other dreams are clearly the natural extensions of the space program which began a generation ago.
Is to return to the moon by 2020 as the launching point for missions beyond. Beginning no later than 2008, using the Crew Exploration Vehicle, we will undertake extended human missions to the moon as early as 2015.
By the mid-2030s, I believe we can send humans to orbit Mars and return them safely to Earth. And a landing on Mars will follow. And I expect to be around to see it.